forward on this computer. Okay. Hi. I am so excited to bring you an interview with Bob Weeks. He is one of the original founders of the Covenant Methodist Food Pantry. And they've been providing amazing service so locally that they hit my list of nonprofits I wanted to shout out to you. So Bob, can you give us the, where you're coming from and your mission and who you serve?
Well, sure. We are a faith-based food pantry. We operate inside of a church, Covenant United Methodist Church. We have been in existence the way the current format is for a little over 9 years. We were serving people out of a closet at the church that people would come by and ask for food, and I think that's probably true of most churches. Mm-hmm. And then we may have a bag of groceries sitting around and we would hand to them. Mm-hmm. Our Sunday school decided that we needed to step up our game a little bit and hear the call of Jesus to help and feed the people. Mm-hmm. So we decided to expand our existing pantry, although it wasn't really a pantry. And so we started on a Wednesday night, first Wednesday in May of whatever 9 years ago was, 2011, mm-hmm. I guess.
Okay.
And we just opened. We had no advertising. We went strictly off of word of mouth. And I think the first Wednesday we had one family show up. Mm-hmm. We were buying our groceries from local grocery stores and packaging them ourselves. Mm-hmm. And it just started growing. We started doing things like getting some fresh meat and some other things besides just shelf-stable items.
Wow.
And we kept thinking, well, if we had 10 people show up, what would we do? Well, mm-hmm. we hit 10 within a matter of weeks. Mm-hmm. And we'd go, what would happen if we hit 20? We hit 20 pretty quick. Mm-hmm. And so not to bore you with the math on it, last night we had our food pantry and we had 153 families.
Wow. Wow.
And that equates to somewhere around 400, 450 individuals.
That's amazing.
That came through the food pantry. So it grew from a closet into, we took over one of the Sunday school rooms in the church. Wow. And it's now lined with shelves and refrigerators. And
wow. So exactly how give us a little bit how this actually works when the families show up.
Okay, would you like to know how our old operation, because I know your question was about COVID also.
Yes, absolutely, for sure. Go for it.
Our old operation prior to COVID was we would allow our clients, that we call them, into the front door of the church and into our fellowship hall, and we do have to have a registration. Mm-hmm. Since sure. we no longer purchase our food from local grocery stores, we get it from the Central Texas Food Bank.
Oh, okay, great.
So we've partnered with them, and our food costs have been greatly reduced.
Sure.
So we've been able to purchase even more food, and as you can imagine, supplying enough food for 153 families is a lot.
Right. No small feat.
So the Methodist Church had a program in place in Austin called the Free Store, mm-hmm. where they had clothing and other gently used items that they would mm-hmm. give away. And it was over in East Austin on Berkman at a Methodist church there. We affiliated with them and then started a free store of our own. So uh-huh. we're taking in clothing and other items and would hand that out each week.
Oh, wow.
We had a whole team that took that project on itself. In fact, my wife is one of the ones that took on that project. So we were handing out lots of gently used items to people.
Mm-hmm.
Then we had another team had an idea. Well, since they're coming into the fellowship hall, and we are open at that time. We were open from 4:30 to 6:30 on Wednesday evenings. That we need to be serving them some kind of food. So I had another team start making a snack supper every week.
Wow.
So the folks would come in the front door and register, and then get in line for the snack supper, and then we would call them down. Our actual food pantry is in the back of our church, so we'd have to send them down a ramp,
Right.
which we actually had to rebuild a ramp with some grant money we got. So the whole thing has just exploded into a Wednesday evening of, I like to call it a big party every Wednesday evening.
Love it.
Because of the way that we've set up, we think relationship is just as important as the food. The food is just a vehicle to get them in.
Right, community.
Yes, and being a faith-based organization, we just wanted to show them Christ. So
Absolutely, make them feel like they're at home and not just a handout.
exactly, and that does wonders not only for our clients but our volunteers too.
Oh, I know. Yes, I know exactly what you mean.
Yep.
So not possible now. So give us how have you changed?
We have changed. We no longer have our snack supper, unfortunately, because it was inside. We no longer have our free store, and we are getting inundated with donations for that. We had a designated closet at the church, and it is completely full, and we're starting to fill up every nook and cranny we can find at this point.
So this is the clothing and stuff like that?
Yes.
So people are home decluttering and bringing that all to you.
Yes, I think that is correct. I think that is correct.
Uh-huh.
And so we're trying to figure out some way we could possibly hand that stuff out to the folks. And, we've talked about maybe setting up tables outside and rerouting them through the parking lot. We just hadn't got to that point. So we missed that in the snack supper. The food pantry itself, we decided, no matter what's going on, disease-wise, whatever, people still got to eat.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, I've got such a dedicated team of volunteers, and I gave them the choice. I mean, because most of our volunteers are in my age range, and we're supposedly in the vulnerable category. But they still came, and we had to shift to a drive-through model.
Okay.
And we've got a portico type drive-through.
Yes. I know where that is.
And we set it up. The food bank has been very gracious during this period. They started making disaster relief boxes.
Wow.
And we've been getting a bunch of those. They're pre-packed boxes of staple goods.
Great.
And they have been giving that to us at no charge.
Wow.
We are still buying. Yes, we're still buying produce because we feel like produce is very important.
It
fresh
is.
produce. And we're still buying meat. And so we hand out frozen meat, and we give them a choice as best we can in a drive-through type of situation of type of meat. And this year we just partnered with the Austin Diaper Bank.
Wonderful.
I don't know if you know about them.
Oh,
I bet you do.
Yes, I do.
I had contacted them last year, but they have a set number of partners that they are allowed just because they just don't have enough diapers.
Absolutely.
But they contacted us early at the end of last year and asked if we would like to partner with them for this year.
Wonderful.
And so now we've got diapers. So
great.
I never knew the need for that until we had them. But just about every family that drives through now, it looks like they have a car seat in the back or are in need of diapers. So that's been a wonderful addition too.
Wonderful. Well, I just have the chills all over because I love every nonprofit I talk to, the terminology that you use, that, you know, a party and your clients, and everybody seems to make sure that people feel like people instead of
Right.
just less than people. And I love that so much. I love that so much. So how could, when I put this out to my community, what can I tell them how they could support you, Covenant Methodist, and their food pantry service?
Right. Now, I thought about that question. At this particular time, it's really difficult to sign up any new volunteers
Mm-hmm.
because during our old, I'll call it our old model and our new model,
Mm-hmm.
but during the old way of doing things, we were averaging somewhere in the vicinity of about 50 volunteers a week. Now that included all types of different things like setup and the free store volunteers.
Mm-hmm.
The drive-through, which I gave volunteers the choice not to show up if they felt uncomfortable, we're down to averaging about 15 to
Mm-hmm.
20 volunteers a week. So, and
So
we have to keep the distance. So
yes.
that's one of the
So,
reasons.
so I think supporting the Austin Diaper Bank and the food bank support you, I guess.
Yes.
So it's sort of a secondary support in a way.
Yes. The other thing that we were doing with the food bank is that we were actually having to go down to the food bank and pick up
that's
food.
not close.
No, it's not. And it was another expense for us because we don't have a church van or any other type of thing. So we were renting a vehicle every week.
Goodness.
The food bank, another thing they did on top of giving us the boxes was they started delivery.
Wow.
So now they are now delivering the free boxes. So
wow.
It has helped our financial situation greatly.
Wow. That's beautiful. It to me, I just feel like there's growth from, the heart growth, and the love is just fueling all the community. I love it so much. This is why I do these interviews.
No, like I said, being a faith community, we give all the credit to God because He just has blessed our ministry unbelievably. Things will happen that we just don't expect, and so it has to be Him. Very
grateful, much gratitude, and just sharing the love, the love. I am so grateful that you're doing this work and you're helping people. There's so much need. So starting
it is, and I can tell you, it's an exhausting evening on Wednesdays, but it's such a satisfactory exhaustion when you're through. So
yes, right, because you're just spent. You're just spent.
Yes.
Well, and the weather as well.
The weather does not help at all.
I know everybody right now, I think, is we're already just half emotionally drained all the time.
Yes.
I don't think any of us can get a full emotional tank right now because of all of the stuff, so much. So banding together.
Sadly, our church is not open on Sundays, so I say we're having church on Wednesday nights now. So
totally, yes, absolutely. So Covenant Methodist Church, we're in northwest Austin. Austin.
On Duval Road.
On Duval Road. If you drive around in Austin at all, you pass by them multiple times a day.
Yep.
I used to. I still do.
Halfway between 183 and Mopac. You can't miss us.
Used to be a quiet road, and now it's a really busy one. So,
I know.
Well, I want to thank you for your time, Bob, and just continuing to give. Sounds like you and your wife work together to do it. I think it's great, and I thank you for your time, and I will be sharing this mission out, and you know, hopefully it will inspire someone else to contribute in ways that they can. So that's why I do this. So
Sounds great. Thank you, Ryan.
well, I really appreciate it, and I will end our meeting, and I will hopefully see you around.
All right. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
You bet. Bye-bye.
Bye.